If you drive a diesel truck or car, you've probably already heard all the usual stuff. Change your oil, use good fuel, and let it warm up before driving. That's all good advice, but it's only the surface. Today, we're going way beyond those basic tips. These are the real insider secrets, the things that separate experienced diesel owners from people who just happen to own a diesel vehicle. If you don't know these tricks, you're missing out on a lot of performance, fuel efficiency, and long-term reliability. Let's get started with secret number 1, the Italian tune-up. Now, this one might surprise a lot of diesel owners because it goes against what most people think. You actually need to drive your diesel hard once in a while. No, I'm not talking about flooring it when it's cold or bouncing it off the red line. I'm talking about giving your truck a good strong run after the engine has fully warmed up. See, diesel engines are built for real work. They're designed to pull, haul, and push power under heavy loads. When you drive too gently all the time, the engine doesn't get hot enough to burn off soot and carbon buildup. That gunk starts collecting inside the intake, exhaust, turbo, and even the EGR system. Before long, the DPF, diesel particulate filter, starts clogging faster than it should. In other words, being too gentle can actually hurt your diesel. That's where the Italian tune-up comes in. It's a term diesel pros use to describe giving the engine a proper workout. Once your engine is nice and warm, find an open stretch of road, maybe a highway or a hill, and press the pedal down a bit. Let the turbo spool up, keep it there for a few minutes. This high heat and fast airflow burns off those carbon deposits and keeps your engine breathing clean. If you regularly tow or haul heavy loads, you're already doing this naturally. But if you mostly drive around town or just commute to work, you'll need to make time for it. Take the long way home once a week, use the passing lane, let your diesel stretch its legs. Do that, and you'll notice smoother performance, cleaner exhaust, and fewer problems down the road. Your diesel engine will thank you for it. Now let's talk about secret number 2. Don't idle your diesel, except when you should. Yeah, I know that sounds confusing, so let's clear it up. A lot of people think idling is harmless. Some even believe it's good for the engine. But the truth is, long idling is one of the worst things you can do to a modern diesel. Here's why. When your diesel sits idling for a long time, the engine isn't working at the right temperature or under proper load. That leads to carbon buildup, unburned fuel deposits, and something called cylinder glazing, which means the inside of the cylinders gets a shiny coating that kills compression. On top of that, extended idling wastes fuel, about 3/4 of a gallon per hour, even when you're just sitting there. Modern diesel engines hate that kind of treatment. But there are times when you should idle, and that's right after you've been driving hard, towing a heavy load, or pushing your turbo to work at high speed. See, your turbocharger can spin at over 100,000 RPM, and it gets extremely hot. If you turn the engine off right away, the oil stops flowing while the turbo is still spinning and heat-soaked. That lack of lubrication can damage the turbo bearings, and that's a repair you definitely don't want. It's expensive. So here's the simple rule to follow. Normal driving around town? Shut it off when you park. No cool down needed after towing, hauling, or highway driving. Let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds before turning it off. That short idle gives your turbo time to cool down safely. Even better, instead of sitting there idling, just drive gently for the last mile or two before you reach home. Cruise at low RPM, avoid boost, and let the engine naturally cool itself while still moving. Then when you park, let it idle for half a minute or so. That's usually plenty. The goal here is balance. Don't waste fuel by idling too long, but always protect your turbo when it's hot. Follow that habit and you'll save your turbo, your oil, and your wallet. Now let's move to secret number 3, the 5,000 to 6,500 mile oil change rule. If you flip through your owner's manual, it probably says you can go 10,000 miles or more between oil changes, especially if you're using full synthetic oil. Sounds nice, right? Less maintenance, less hassle. But here's what experienced diesel owners know. If you want your engine to hit 300,000 miles or more without major issues, you should change your oil every 5,000 to 6,500 miles. No excuses. It's not about wasting money, it's about protecting your investment. Oil is cheap, engines are not. Modern diesel engines run under much tougher conditions than gas engines. They deal with heat, soot, EGR systems that recycle exhaust gas, and DPF regenerations that can thin your oil with unburned fuel. All that stress breaks down your oil faster than you might think. Even high-quality synthetic oils start showing wear at around that 5,000-mile mark. The protective additives begin to fade, the viscosity changes, and contamination levels rise. So yes, your oil might still look okay, but that doesn't mean it's doing its job properly anymore. Veteran diesel mechanics who test used oil samples see this all the time. By 6,000 miles, the oil is already tired. The folks who push their oil changes too far, they're usually the same people who end up with worn bearings, failed turbos, or clogged emission systems before 150,000 miles. Here's another critical habit. Check your oil level regularly. Diesel engines naturally consume small amounts of oil. If you wait until the next service, your level could be dangerously low. Make it a habit to pull the dipstick every couple of weeks. If it's low, top it off. And if your oil smells like diesel fuel, that's a big red flag. It means fuel is mixing in, thinning your oil, and damaging your engine from the inside. In that case, change it sooner. The drivers who keep their diesel running strong past 300,000 miles all have one thing in common. They never skip oil changes. They stick to that 5,000 to 6,500 mile routine like clockwork. The ones who trust the manual and stretch it to 10,000 or more, they're the ones paying for new turbos and engine rebuilds long before they should. Now let's move on to secret number 4. The turbo cooldown isn't just about the turbo. Most people think that when you finish a long drive or heavy towing job, the only thing that needs a cooldown is the turbocharger. But the truth is, your whole drivetrain is heat-soaked. After pulling a trailer, climbing hills, or driving hard on the highway, everything under the hood is holding on to heat. The turbo, the oil, the transmission, the seals, even the gaskets. If you shut the engine off immediately, all that heat just sits there, cooking everything it touches. That's when oil breaks down, seals harden, and small leaks start forming over time. So here's what smart diesel owners do. They give their engine a short, gentle cool-down period after any hard drive. This doesn't mean you have to sit in a parking lot for 10 minutes. It's much simpler than that. For the last mile or two before you park, just drive easy. Keep your RPMs low, stay out of the turbo boost, and let the airflow and coolant naturally pull the temperature down. Then once you park, let the engine idle for 30 to 60 seconds. That small habit allows the oil to circulate, cool the turbo, and stabilize the heat throughout the system. Even though modern diesels often use water-cooled turbos, they still benefit from this process, especially if you've been working the engine hard. And if your truck uses a more traditional oil-cooled turbo, this step is absolutely essential. Think about it. Would you really want to shut everything down instantly after your engine's been running hot for hours? That's like running a marathon and stopping dead the moment you cross the line. Your body and your engine needs time to settle. A few minutes of patience here can save you thousands of dollars later by preventing cooked oil, cracked seals, and early turbo failure. It's a small, simple habit, but one that separates regular drivers from those who really understand their diesel. All right, time for secret number 5. Always buy fuel from high-volume stations. This one sounds simple, but it can save you thousands of dollars in the long run. Here's the deal. Diesel fuel sitting in underground tanks for too long naturally collects water. That's just how it works. Temperature changes cause condensation, and over time, that moisture builds up inside the tanks. If that station doesn't sell much diesel, that water stays there and eventually ends up in your fuel tank. And water in your diesel system is bad news. It can rust components, ruin injectors, and lead to fuel system failure. A repair that can easily cost several $1,000s. That's why experienced diesel drivers are picky about where they fill up. They stick to busy, high-volume stations, places like truck stops, big travel centers, or major brand stations where diesel pumps are used constantly. The faster the fuel sells, the fresher it stays, with less chance for water or microbial buildup. If you pull into a station that looks empty or hasn't seen a truck in days, skip it. Saving a few cents per gallon isn't worth risking your injectors or fuel pump. Instead, choose a station that's clean, well-maintained, and busy. Here's a pro tip. Keep your fuel receipts and reset your trip meter after every fill-up. If you ever end up with bad fuel, you'll have proof of where it came from. And some big-name stations will actually help cover repair costs if their fuel caused the problem. Paying a few extra cents for quality fuel is cheap insurance. It's one of those simple habits that keeps your diesel running cleaner, longer, and stronger. Do these consistently and your diesel won't just last. It'll perform like it's supposed to. Clean, strong, and ready to haul whatever life throws at it. Your truck wasn't built to sit around. It was built to move, to pull, and to work hard. Treat it like a machine, not a museum piece, and it'll reward you with that deep, confident diesel growl for years to come. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more insider diesel secrets coming soon. And hey, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. Drive safe, keep that diesel working, and I'll see you in the next one.